Today we'll give the old P53 a bit of a workout. We'll shoot a Pritchett International at 100 yards, and then 0 at 2, 3, and 400 yards. We'll follow that with a little bit of rapid. The targets for the practice today are the standard Pritchett International target, an 18-inch white Gong, and a 20-inch by 40-inch orange Gong. Part of every shoot, especially one as comprehensive as this is going to be, is the preparation for firing. A few steps need to be followed. I always ensure to blacken both my foresight blade as well as the rear sight to make sure that the sight picture is good and crisp. It's also important to remove any oil that may be in the bore as a result of cleaning after firing. Generally speaking, petroleum-based lubricants and black powder fouling do not go well together. To this end, I use a commercially available 4-piece collapsing cleaning rod with a simple 58 cal jag. It fits in the knapsack nicely and is also equipped with a plastic muzzle protector. After this is done, snap a couple of caps to make sure the nipple is clear. The Pritchett International Shoot, shot at 100 yards, has been explained in detail in previous clips. I like it because it serves a few purposes. One, it's a good warm-up for any subsequent shooting. Two, it confirms your zero and shows you where the muzzleloading gods are having your rifle shoot that day. And three, it is somewhat historical, using historically proportioned targets, ammunition, and weaponry. Of course, the Pritchett International is not completely historical, but it's definitely historical in spirit. The annual musketry course of fire of the era was broken into 3 classes, the third class being shot at the closest of ranges. For a trained man, there was 5 rounds each at 150, 200, 250, and 300 yards. In order to pass from the third to the second class, a man had to achieve a score of 15 points. Scoring for this was as discussed in earlier videos, being 3 for a bullseye, 2 for an inner, and 1 for an outer. Shooting a full course of fire, all 3 classes out to a range of 900 yards, is somewhat of a luxury, and it's a luxury that I unfortunately don't have the opportunity to indulge in. Though, as we shall see in the next few practices, with an increased range of out to 400 yards, I might be able to mimic a full course of fire with smaller sized targets. But that's definitely for another day. This day the muzzleloading gods must have been looking kindly on me. I scored a 47, which is the best score I've shot with the P53 to date. The next practice I shot was at 200 with an 18-inch Gong. I took my trusty shooting rest to make sure that I was aiming and hitting correctly. Throughout this particular practice, I was loading from the standing position. The sight setting that I used for this practice was at 200 yards, with the sight being held at the center of mass. As you can tell from the repeated strikes on the Gong, this sight setting at this range seemed to be working out okay. Based on previous, though limited experience at this range, I've set the sights at 400 yards. the 100-yard overage is necessary because of the reduced powder charge that I'm shooting. The sight picture, however, remains very similar, although slightly higher than normal. In the musketry regulations of the day, all targets from 300 yards and below were shot at in the standing position. I chose for the last 5 rounds of this application to try just that. The misses here were definitely due to my lack of concentration. .400 yards is a range that I had not shot the P53 at yet, though I had shot the P58 naval rifle at this range. Previous zeroing applications with the P53 indicated that I needed to adjust the sights. This I did with a small brass shim shifted to the right on the back sight. This modification, however, is not present in the notch when the ladder is up. Modification of the sight picture in a Kentucky windage fashion was necessary. By adjusting the sight picture so the front sight was not in the center of the notch, but rather off to the right-hand edge, I mimicked the sight picture as practiced with the ladder down. In addition, based on my experience at 300 yards, I overset the sights to 500 yards. This is the lowest setting when the ladder is raised. As you can hear, my sighting adjustments seem to be working. After stretching things out this day, I thought I'd try my hand with a little bit of rapid shooting for time. At 58 seconds, I came in just under my goal of 1 minute. There it is. I hope you enjoyed it. A good workout for the P53 Enfield Rifle-Musket. We did a bit of rapid shooting and applications from 100 to 400 yards. Thanks for watching. I'd like to hear of your Enfield accomplishments as well. Feel free to put them in the comments. Well, the P53's performed pretty well up to 400 yards today. Had to make a little adjustment on the sight picture once the ladder came up. But once that got done, it was hitting pretty consistently at 400. So I've never shot at anything farther, at 500 or so. But I have the opportunity today to do that, so I'm going to give it a try, and we'll see how it does. Same target, 20 by 40, that orange iron plate out there. Just like shooting at 400 yards, shooting here at 5 required the modified sight picture and the ladder set to 600 yards.